It's time for Losses Above Replacement, the best baseball podcast to grace your ears, with your hosts, Alex.
Plus, I have so many questions. Also, where's my car?
Splash.
Strive to love something as much as my grandmother loves buying new crock pots.
And Mac.
If you've ever been to Boston, you know that they have amazing ice cream.
Coming to you from coast to coast, it's L.A.R.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Losses Above Replacement, the best baseball podcast to grace your ears. I am today's host, Alex Clark, joined by our very own Hall of Fame rejects. It is Ryan Splashpots and Mathias Kurosaki. My main men, thank you for voting for Ichiro, but how are you guys doing today?
I actually have an announcement to make. I was the Hall of Fame voter that did not vote for Ichiro. My ballot consisted of Adam Jones and Adam Jones only.
I mean, it makes sense at that point, right? Like, if you are just really love one player, man, then small hall, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I was only allowed to pick one member of the 2007 Mariners, so no Adrian Beltre, no Ichiro, no Felix. It had to be Adam Jones.
I mean, that just makes sense.
I was going to vote for JJ Putz, actually. So,
I kept trying to find Fernando Rodney, but he just kept getting buried on the ballot. And so, unfortunately, I couldn't, get that ballot in on time. But, it'd be like that. As you can tell, I am extremely salty about Ichiro not getting the unanimous vote.
whoever didn't vote for Ichiro, we need to have a conversation.
This bobblehead right here is very angry.
Because
and I'm going to show us on podcast now because I
you.
can. My signed Ichiro ball from 2001 is not happy either. For the All-Star game, by the way, of 2001, too.
Oh, yeah, which was hosted in Seattle. That's right.
Hosted in Seattle, yep.
The world famous Cal Ripken game.
That is the famous
Cal Ripken game, yep.
Okay, I do have a quick question.
Yeah.
With the Hall of Fame news, what's the Ichiro game? What is the quintessential Ichiro game? Do you have one? I have two that come to mind.
I got a couple. The first one that comes to my mind is actually his power, not for speed, but it was the home run against Mariano Rivera.
That was the first one that
I
came
was
to my
actually
mind.
there for that game.
Yep.
I was there. I saw that live. It was one of
awesome
the greatest
moment.
moments of my life.
Okay.
Absolutely amazing.
Because I think my pick is probably that was something out of Star Wars game.
Yes, I was about to say,
welcome to baseball.
Third game. So
Yeah.
it was like it was in the first. That entire series was so important for Ichiro for two reasons. One, the throw that got the out of third from, and then
Terrence
again
Long.
the great
Long,
quotes.
yeah.
But I believe that was also the first home run for Ichiro too. Was in that series? It was either that or the next series against Texas.
I think he hit it in Texas. I remember.
I think you're right, actually. Yeah. So no, then I'm gonna retract that statement. But no, that play cemented Ichiro for being like, oh, it's not just a gimmick. He's here to stay and here to win. Absolutely brilliant. So that's a good call, Splash.
Okay, yeah. Again, and then after that, I think it's the walk-off home run off Mariano Rivera. Then I think third to me is the triple to get to 3,000 hits. I think that's
also true.
Yeah,
important milestone for him.
Very true.
I mean, there's so many options. That's the thing. But the first one that came to my mind was the home run against Mo. I mean, that was
same.
That was such an electric. Two Hall of Famers going at it, and Ichiro, like everyone said, Ichiro could hit for power. I mean, I said he took the best round of batting practice I ever saw. That's when he was 41 years old, I believe, or 39.
I'll say this as well, just to give a little extra to it. Like I said, I was there for that game. I was actually in the 100 level for it because we got tickets from a friend. And the guy next to me, I did not know him. He was not part of our crew. I was, I think, 14, 15, 16 at the time?
It was in 09, so.
If it was in 09, I'm trying to reverse engineer age. I was 15. A grown man next to me, and when he hit that, I hugged this man that I never talked to before. I did a full embrace with a stranger right next to me because that's the emotion that I had from it. By the way, also quick reminder: shout out to Mike Sweeney, the guy that got on the base.
That's right. That was Sweeney, yeah.
Mike Sweeney, and then Michael Saunders pinch ran for him. The Condor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. One of the greatest moments of my life. Anyway, speaking of Ichiro. There's a reason why we're talking about him, and that is because the Hall of Fame has just had 3 new members. not 4, not 2, 3. Ichiro Suzuki reaching 393 out of 394 possible votes, missing out on the elusive unanimous vote by 1, which that person, please feel free to step forward. I'm not angry. I just want to know why.
If you want to contact lossabovereplacement@gmail.com.
Lossabovereplacement@gmail.com. But the other two names as well, CC Sabathia getting in also on his first year on the ballot. And then on the full other end of the spectrum, Billy Wagner finally gets the respect he deserves on his 10th year on the ballot here, makes it with 82.5% of the vote. So 3 new Hall of Famers in this coming class. Guys, what are your takeaways on this? A few guys that got close but did not make it. Carlos Beltran, his 3rd year on the ballot, got 70.3%. Andrew Jones on his 8th year on the ballot, getting 66. And then it is a jump down after that. Then you have Chase Utley with 39.8, A-Rod with 37.1, Manny Ramirez with 34.3. And to me, this was a shock. Felix Hernandez getting 20% of the vote on his first year on the ballot. I will fully say, even as a diehard Seattle guy, I was scared he wasn't going to make the 5%, let alone get 20.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I felt with David Wright last year. David Wright obviously is like my childhood hero. And I went into last year fully expecting him to fall off the ballot. This year, he actually got an increase. I do want to point out, though, the biggest increase this year actually was Andy Pettit, which, CC Sabathia, I had no doubt that CC should be a Hall of Famer. But in my head, I've always said, I'm not sure if Andy Pettit should really be a Hall of Famer. His career ERA is 3.85. Everyone talks about how great of a postseason pitcher he was, but his career postseason ERA is 3.81. His career World Series ERA is 4.06. I understand the stakes are higher, and he had an insane volume of postseason starts, I think over 40. But Sabathia's numbers are actually pretty similar. So I sort of see why people voted for Pettit. But I'm happy to see that Felix got an increase for sure. I like you were saying, I wasn't expecting much. Same with Dustin Pedroia. Troy Tulowitzki fell off. So did Ben Zobrist. Like, there are guys who I thought, their peaks maybe were good enough to save them a little bit, but unfortunately for Tulo, it wasn't. But the best, I tweeted this. I tweeted this yesterday, but the only thing that would have made this better for me was if Carlos Beltran made it in with Billy Wagner.
That would have been fun.
Billy Wagner, I don't know if I can put into words how happy I am for this man. He was an undersized guy, under 6 feet. He went to a Division III college, tiny school, Ferrum College in Virginia. But he was the 12th overall pick, a naturally born right-handed thrower. Taught himself how to throw left-handed. Taught himself how to throw left-handed 100 miles per hour. 422 saves, 33.2% strikeout rate for his entire career. So basically, 1 out of every 3 hitters he faced, he struck out for his entire career.
Yeah, that's insane.
And he's one of 2 pitchers to throw at least 900 innings and have a career ERA below 2.5. The other player is Mariano Rivera. So I'm quite glad he finally got his justice. It should not have taken him 10 years, but he's in. That's all that matters. He's a Hall of Famer. So I wish I could make it to the ceremonies this summer in Cooperstown, but this is pretty awesome. 3 guys that I loved watching play, especially Ichiro being a Japanese player. First Japanese-born Hall of Famer. So, yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, and I have 2 big takeaways. So, first off, congratulations to Ichiro. The unanimous thing, he's a Hall of Famer. I understand y'all wanted him to be 100%, but there's no extra wing in the Hall of Fame for being unanimous or being over 90%. They're all Hall of Famers. But my 2 big takeaways. Number 1, this is the first stone into the new age starting pitcher. So CC Sabathia gets in, only 250 wins. He did have 3,000 strikeouts. That helps. But we are coming up on this era of when we get through this Verlander, Scherzer, Kershaw, like obvious Hall of Famers in any era group, who is that next set of Hall of Famers? Is Jacob deGrom a Hall of Famer? The peak was really high, but he doesn't have the volume. Is Chris Sale a Hall of Famer? Does he have the longevity? And we're going to have, is Zach Greinke a Hall of Famer? To me, yes, but there are a lot of people that will say no. So CC Sabathia is in. Who else will get in? Will Felix get in? I think him opening at 20%, especially with the ballot next year being very light, that bodes well for Felix. And I think Felix is a guy that year 6, year 7, year 8, he might be in the Andrew Jones territory of trending towards being in and get that last year bump and get in. And my final takeaway is with Billy Wagner, there are only a handful of players that can be the number one in a large group, right? I can whittle it down stats wise and say, oh, he's the best second baseman on Tuesdays in the month of May. Okay, any random person, that could be Darwin Barney. I have no idea. But Billy Wagner is the best left-handed reliever in the history of the sport.
Yep.
Hundreds, thousands of lefties have thrown a baseball as a relief pitcher. Billy Wagner is the best. The right-handed version, the best right-handed reliever is in the Hall of Fame. That's Mariano Rivera.
With a
the only unanimous Hall of Famer.
Yes. The best left-handed reliever in the history of baseball is now in the Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Billy Wagner. Braves legend, by the way.
Yep.
We talked about his
Red Sox
Mets
legend.
tenure. We could talk about his Astros tenure. He was best as a Brave.
I think he was best as a Red Sox. I don't know.
He was unironically best as a Brave.
Guys, no, we know that the best Billy Wagner is on my Diamond Dynasty team in MLB The Show. We know this is true.
Okay. Yes, I agree, actually.
Hey, man, unironically, best as a Brave. At 2.75 ERA plus that 1 year.
One thing I do want to add on a little bit here, especially with Felix, is it's kind of piggybacking on what you were saying, Splash. We are getting to an era now where we're not seeing as much about what used to be a big deal for starting pitchers, like complete games here, right? The massive amount of innings, the massive workloads. They're starting to look a little bit more into the prime. And when you take a look at Felix's prime, he was, this is probably a little bit of a hefty statement, the best pitcher on the planet for a little bit of time. And when he was truly on, he was absolutely incredible. I mean, he did throw a perfect game. Yes, that was against the Rays, who were at the time pretty but he started a perfect game. His ability was truly outmatched. It was like unmatched at that point. And it makes a little bit more sense to get that way. And it does show a different trend of thought where now we are starting to go away from, some of these older pitchers and how they worked to, all right, how are pitchers now working? And Felix was absolutely that kind of archetype. Here, he was a workhorse for not a long time, but during that time, he was absolutely incredible. And people are looking at that now for the Hall of Fame instead of just the full body of work, which then also does show, bode well for guys like deGrom, for guys like Sale, who their highs were incredibly high, but they just don't have the actual volume itself.
It's the thing with Johan Santana was one and done on the ballot. That's another guy. He wasn't quite Sandy Koufax, but you think there's an alternate universe where Santana wins that third Cy Young in 2005 over Colon, and I don't get me wrong, Bartolo Colon's Bartolo Colon, but
Bartolo Colon deserves to not just be in the Hall of Fame, he deserves to be one of the curators.
He deserves to be the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. The Hall of Bartolo Colon.
Yes.
But Johan's a guy who had an insane peak, but he only pitched 12 seasons, so he fell off the ballot immediately. But we looked at next year's newcomers to the ballot, and I don't know if there's a single Hall of Famer in that group. Yeah. The highest WAR of that group is Cole Hamels. Don't get me wrong, Cole Hamels, very good pitcher. He's a Hall of very good pitcher. Ryan Braun, if he hadn't been embroiled in that biogenesis scandal, maybe he has a better chance. He was a one-team player, only played for the Brewers. He was an MVP. But, with that being said, you're going to start seeing an increase in votes for guys like, I think Beltran probably gets in. Maybe Jones gets in next year. I mean, you'll probably see Utley go up. Maybe A-Rod and Manny get increases, but
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, Manny, I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, because Manny, I think, has actually been losing votes, but like,
yeah,
I think that there's reason to expect some of these guys who didn't get a lot of votes this year or last year to start getting an increase, with some lesser talent joining the ballot.
Is Manny Ramirez still playing in like Taiwan or something?
I wouldn't be surprised if he's still playing
surprised
somewhere.
at all.
Like, honestly, I think I saw a video on like X or something where it was him mashing homers over in Taiwan, and I'm like, wow, he
That
really
dude-
is not aged well, but he's
I'll
still
be
going.
honest, he does not want to give up baseball, man.
I mean, no, I respect that.
His sons
Honestly,
play baseball too. Like
Yeah, I respect that. 100%.
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to be. I don't think they'll. It's kind of a big bill to live up to if your dad is Manny Ramirez. Like,
True.
but I mean, maybe one of them makes the bigs. Maybe one of them plays pro ball. Like, yeah, we'll see.
All right. So to end off this segment here, I want to get just a quick reaction from both of you here. I just want a number on this. The 2026 Hall of Fame class will have how many Hall of Famers? The 2026
Like
class
next year, like the results from next year.
Yeah, so the 2026 ballot that we're talking about, where it'll be Felix's second year, final year for Manny. How many Hall of Famers is it going to have?
I'm going to go with 2.
2?
Beltran and Andrew.
Mm-hmm. Splash?
I'm going to go 3. Beltran, Andrew, and someone from the Veterans Committee.
Oh, well, okay.
Oh, I mean, okay,
so 2 on the main ballot.
So I'll say without Veterans Committee, because also Dave Parker is going in via the Veterans Committee.
Dave Parker and Dick Allen.
Thank you very much.
Finally.
Yeah, he should have been in a while.
That should have been a while ago, but yeah.
Finally. Yeah.
For my vote, my vote it's going to be 2 as well, and it's going to be Beltran and it's going to be Jones.
Yeah.
Here, one thing I think I'm going to make a prediction right now, and please, I want to be called on this later on down the road, right? I think that Felix Hernandez in next year's ballot is going to jump to 50%. That's a big jump.
It's bold, yeah.
Maybe
but that's
40s.
But that's my thing, right? Is that if we're getting on the point where we didn't even think he was going to get 20, we didn't know if he was going to stay on the ballot. He already jumps off the grid with 20. I think with next year having a much lighter ballot, we're going to see a major jump on that one as well, especially with kind of a lack of pitchers.
Yeah, with no CC, like Felix is a real argument
one.
that he's the best pitcher. He's going to be the best pitcher on the ballot.
Mm-hmm.
One of 2 Braves legends, by the way, with Cole Hamels.
Yeah.
I think 50 is a big jump. Like
I think it is. I agree. I think it's.
I could say 40.
Jump.
If it's over 34%, I think you're making progress.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. What I think is probably going to happen is up to 40, but I'm just predicting a big jump. I'm not sure if it's going to happen. That's just what my prediction is.
Absolutely.
But let us know how you guys feel about the Hall of Fame announcement. Was there someone that you thought really got snubbed? Were you the one person that would have said, hey, Fernando Rodney is a Hall of Famer? Here, I put him on the ballot. One, you're now my friend. Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. But let us know here again on Twitter/X here at LAR_baseball. I almost put my own Twitter on that one. My apologies.
Hey, I mean, if you want, you can contact Alex.
You can definitely contact me. Have fun. Go ahead. Hit my DMs up real quick.
If you want to complain, Alex at LARbaseball.com.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, well, with that being said, we're going to head off to our next topic here, and we're going to keep this one fairly short because it feels like we've been kind of beating a dead horse on this, but so has the offseason itself. The Dodgers have acquired 2 new names. 2 pitchers, one of them being Roki Sasaki making his decision to go and play now for the Dodgers, which I think surprises a grand total of maybe 5 people. And then
it's the Toronto Blue Jays brass.
100%. Yeah, it's just the entire front office for the Blue Jays. Yeah.
It's like, darn it, man.
We thought we had a chance. No, although I will say credit to Jeff Passan for going, sorry, Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Had to have it. That was, I don't know if that was a troll job or if that was in earnest. That was one of the funniest things I've ever read.
Hey man, they got Anthony Santander. That's what
they did get Anthony Santander. You are correct.
He's gonna hit more home runs as a Blue Jay than Roki Sasaki will hit as a Dodger.
This is
it's true. Yeah.
I find no fault in that, unless we now find out that Roki Sasaki can also hit.
It turns out he is Bryce Harper.
Oh, dang. Turns out he is just another Shohei.
He's the inverted DeGrom. He's going to go play shortstop.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Zach Greinke. It is Zach Greinke in the flesh, boys and girls.
Beautiful. We've got it, boys. But they have signed Roki Sasaki as well as inking to a deal Kirby Yates.
And Tanner
Scott.
Yeah, and Tanner Scott. Oh, yeah, so 3 then. Wow. I was just mostly thinking about the Yates one now. But they just keep on adding here at this point, and it just feels... I'll be honest, it just feels bad, considering that most of these contracts are still deferred money. Again, I think most of Tanner Scott's deal is deferred. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me. But we're going to do a quick 3 words only for this, because I think all of us are getting a little tired about hearing, oh, the Dodgers made another move. So who would like to go first for 3 words only? Because this one, it's a little bit odd, if you ask me.
All right, I'm gonna go. It doesn't necessarily have to do with the Dodgers. My 3 words: no salary cap. Please stop with the salary cap nonsense. I'm just gonna say it now. There is a poll on MLB Trade Rumors about would you give up the 2027 season so that MLB can negotiate a salary cap. Let me tell you right now, if you voted yes to that, like unfollow me, block me, whatever. We are not giving up an entire season because you think the Dodgers are overspending. Yes, the Dodgers have way outspent everyone, and they're basically having the 2009 Yankees offseason, but every offseason that's happening. And it does kind of ruin the competitive balance a little bit. All right, maybe this is what messes up the parity. But I'm going to say it right now. Some other team should step up. All right.
I agree with that part of it.
I don't think a salary cap would accomplish anything.
That's fair. I will say, just kind of the opinion on that a little bit. I think a salary cap would help, but I don't think that sacrificing a baseball season to do it is going to be the right answer either. I think you're just going to have a lot of sad people. But I'll go with my 3 words here, and kind of along what you were saying here is soon no baseball. I think legitimately that this is building to the next CBA agreement talks. We have seen in previous times here with the CBA arguments that both sides can be extremely finicky. Like, it's not one side or the other. It's not the owners or the players being good. No, every side is finicky with this. And I think that they are going to try to bring up some stuff for a salary cap in this, or in some way to stop like the deferred contracts or something. And the way that it's going now, it is only building on more fire for what's going on all of it. So I think that because of that, the sides will not be able to get anything done in let's just say in a cordial manner. And I think there's a very real chance we will lose a baseball season over it, regardless of what we think. We would lose a baseball season because the sides won't be able to come to an agreement on it here, because the players don't want a deferred contract. They want their money. They sometimes want a deferred contract. I can agree to that. But half of the owners of baseball do not want it too. So now you have just also infighting within the same organization of thought there. So I think there's a very realistic shot that we do not have baseball in some season in the near future. And whether it goes for one season, half a season, there will be missed time. Mark my words on this one. There will be missed time because of this.
So I could go on like a long ramble on the same realm you guys are. I'm going to not do that. I'm going to save that. But my 3 words are best of X. I'm not moved. I'm planting my flag. I am not moved. Kirby Yates is 75 years old. I am not moved. Tanner Scott was not good like 3 years ago. I am not moved. And Roki Sasaki has regressed in Japan. His like homework for MLB teams was, how can you help my fastball? If you're worried about that, buddy, you got a long road ahead of you. But in all sincerity, he's going to be probably one of the best pitchers in the world very soon, if he's not already. And the splitter is gnarly. But regardless, this to me, I understand that the Dodgers are signing everyone. And Mac, you mentioned the 09 Yankees. Please remind me what did the 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24 Yankees, how many World Series did they win?
Same number as me.
Yes, that is correct. They won 0. It's baseball. It's 162 games, and it boils down to a best of X series. We saw a 111 win Dodgers team with a Pythagorean win-loss of like 117 and 45 got annihilated by the Diamondbacks. The 82 win Diamondbacks or whatever, 84 wins, I think, 83 wins, something like that.
Well, the year they won at 111, they also got upset by the 89 win Padres.
Yes. So I confused years.
The following year, though, they were in a 100-win team that lost to the Diamondbacks. Yes. Got swept by the Diamondbacks.
Yes. Point stands that baseball is a weird sport. Weird things happen. Sometimes you have Betts and Freeman and they go nuts, right? Sometimes they go a combined 1 for 30 in the NLDS, right? And I understand baseball fans are mad that their team doesn't spend as much money as the Dodgers. Trust me, the Braves have done nothing this offseason. And there are Braves fans, if they made one move, if they sign, I'm blanking on the exact player, but if they had signed, say, Anthony Santander and plugged him into left field, you can say, are the Braves that much worse than the Dodgers? Yeah, you can are the Mets. If the Mets and Dodgers played, are the Dodgers huge favorites? I don't think so. I think the Mets could beat them. I think the Padres could beat them. Maybe the Diamondbacks could beat them. So I understand the concern here, and the Dodgers are outspending everyone in baseball by a lot. And the Shohei Ohtani of it all, that you have a generational player, like you might have the single greatest player in the history of baseball, and he is taking the money situation you're not paying him to be that. You're paying him for okay, he's a fine MLB player. No, but he's a all-time difference maker. It's very similar to how the Patriots were able to construct their dynasty and be good every year. Well, if Tom Brady is not making number 1 quarterback in the NFL money, if Patrick Mahomes is not making number 1 in the NFL quarterback money, then it's a little bit easier. So the Dodgers have that advantage going for them, and they have the TV deal and they have this. But guess what? In October, it does not matter.
Baseball is so weird because of that. And to be fair, all sports have that, right? Every sport has a playoff format that makes it so no matter how good you were in the regular season, it comes down to, can you prove it one time, right? Look at the NFL playoffs, look at the Stanley Cup, look at, MLS, all the major sports, NBA specifically as well. Every sport, you build a team. You don't necessarily always build a team for the postseason. You build a team to get to the postseason, and then you go from there. Because if you don't get to the postseason, it doesn't matter, right? And baseball is no different. In fact, it's probably the biggest offender of it because
162 games.
It's the marathon. It's not a sprint. The NFL season is 17 games. A basketball season is over 80 games. Baseball is double that. You have to make it work for 162 games from late March to early October. That's
and
not
now
even
into early November.
That's not including playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Look, at that point, right, you just kind of have to go with it. And I hate how it works, because right now, the Dodgers are basically assuring that they're going to win, during the regular season, especially under Dave Roberts, who is absolutely money magic in the regular season. Playoffs, different story. But he also did win a World Series last year, so I'll get off him about that. Regardless on all of that,
I do think that if you're I'm a Braves fan, Mac is a Mets fan, there's Padres fans, Diamondbacks fans out there, Phillies fans, they might be a little bit more pessimistic than the rest of us, but if you walk into Dodger Stadium for Game 1, you have a shot to win the series, man. I know the Dodgers are going to be probably the best team in the National League for the next 5 years, probably win 100+ games a season for the next 5 years, but October, it just resets, and it's a smaller sample size, and anyone can have a cold stretch for a week. Tarek Skubal was unbelievable. Then he goes out in Game 5 and allows a grand slam. It's what? He has his worst start of the season. Chris Sale had his worst start of the season against the A's. sometimes you don't have it, right? Sometimes you do have it. Sometimes you have it and you have like great performance. David Freese won 2 playoff MVPs
in the same postseason.
Yeah, like for 3 weeks, David Freese was the best hitter on the planet. Sometimes that happens.
And it came at the right time. Yeah. He built a legend off of it.
Sometimes it happens. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you have a Mike Trout is like 1 for 8 in the playoffs or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Regardless of all that,
my horse.
So, let us know what you guys think here. And I do have one more question for you guys before we move on to our last segment. It's another one of these quick ones. This Dodgers offensive side of things, just the offensive side of things, is still looking like one of the best offensive units we've seen in a while. And they just seem to keep getting better. My question to you guys, and it comes down to the parity bit and also a lot of luck here, but with this team, the way that it's constructed from top to bottom, pitching staff, bullpen, offensive staff, this team is feeling incredibly strong. Do you guys think that there's a legitimate shot that they could break the wins record?
I'd say, I mean, every year there's a
every
chance,
year we talk about this. Yeah,
I'm gonna say this year. I'm gonna say no this year.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing holding them back is always injuries, and I mean they're already apparently losing Michael Kopech for the first month of the season. So I'm gonna say no this year, but down the line, yes,
potentially.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean no. That's just you have to go for it as well. And one thing that really pushed the Mariners is they had another 100-win team in the division. The A's, I believe, won like 103 games that year.
They were nasty. Yeah,
you need a perfect combination. So I'll jump to the NFL as an example. I'll do an NBA one. I'll get off the NFL. The 73-9 Warriors, the Spurs won 67 games that year and were like 40-1 at home. So do the Warriors go all out for 73 wins if there's a team that's like the second place team is like 57 wins? I don't think so. 50 wins or whatever. So it takes a perfect storm. And if you get a really competitive season from San Diego or Arizona and you're like down to the last couple weeks, like the Giants and Dodgers a couple years ago, if the Dodgers are ahead and they're at like 110 and the Giants are at 105 in mid-September, okay, maybe you're making that push and you're gonna play your guys the rest of the way. But if they've locked up the division at the end of August or the first week in September, like the Braves a couple years ago won 104 games. They, kind of coasted the last couple weeks, right? And when you get into that upper echelon, if a team is pushing you, then you can go for it. But if a team isn't pushing you, the Chiefs rested their starters in week 18. So they didn't go for a 16-1 season. But if Buffalo had one extra win, they beat Baltimore in week 4, right? They have one extra win. They forced the Chiefs to play their starters and the Chiefs 16th win. But otherwise, we don't need it, right? So I think that's a big role that it takes 2 to tango. It takes 2 to break the wins record to me.
Yeah, and I'll add this one real quick, which is that the Michael Jordan Bulls, when they won 72 games, they were 70-8 actually, and then they sat their guys and only went 2-2 the last few games.
Fair enough. All right, let us know what you guys think here on Twitter at LAR_baseball. But now it's time here for the next edition of our position rankings, as we will be ranking the best second baseman going into 2025. And fellas, I gotta tell you, this was not an easy one. And for the same kind of reason it was for the catchers and the first baseman, there's a few at the top that are like, okay, yeah, those make sense. And then it falls off again. Like, we were having, pre-show talks, and I think I changed my list like 4 times because I'm just like, okay, these people don't work. Okay, these people don't work. Okay, these people don't work. And I finally just said, okay, I'm sticking with this list. And I have a feeling that we're not all that different on that. I think that trying to figure out, especially that 4 and 5 position, we were all kind of like, who do we even put here, right? Like, there's even a joking thought about on my side that I put Ryan Bliss in that second base just because I think he is going to be good this year. But regardless, right? So before we start revealing our lists here, how'd you guys feel about making this one?
It's pretty difficult. Like you were saying, top 3 spots, pretty secure, 4 and 5. I mean, you're basically picking a name out of a hat, like the draft lottery or something, and that's your guy. It's not a great it's not. I wouldn't say it's like a terribly weak position, but it's also not a very strong position. Very top heavy.
Yeah, I think this is a spot that like 4 through like 15, frankly. Particularly last year, heading into the season, it was just like a jumbled mess. You could have like 12 different guys at 5 and like argue it, and I wouldn't like I would disagree with you, but the people were really high on Zach Geloff last year, heading into the year. Jonathan on these, Matt McClain for Cincinnati now, or still in Cincinnati. It's just so much can change. Players change position. Remember, Mookie Betts was in our second base list last year. And then after we released that, the Dodgers say he's going to play shortstop. It's just a mess. It changes every year.
Yeah, no, 100%. And so, like, this one feels weird because of what we were saying, that top 3, pretty secure. You could, like, we probably know what the order of them is, but you could go and you could make an argument for any of them being number 1. But you have those 3, and then it's another roll of dice for 4 and 5. So let's get started. I'll start the things off here. With my number 5, I put Brandon Lau. Like, I had, like you were saying here, about 10 different names I was bouncing between for 4 and 5, but I ended up finally just kind of going with Lau here. I like the power that he brings to it. The strikeout rate is what I'm most concerned about, because right now he's projected to strike out about 26% of the time, so about once per game on that, which is not ideal overall. But at the same time, you got to respect the power on it. Defense, he's all right. I mean, he's not going to be anyone's idea of a defensive ace overall, but he's going to do well for you, I think. He's going to do all right. You're really just relying on the power for Lau here. So for that, he's my number 5.
Yeah, I have Lau at number 5 too. I just want him to play another full season.
Right.
The one time he played over 130 games was in 2021. He played 149 and he hit 39 home runs that year. So if we see him play, because this year he hit 21 in 436 plate appearances. Or sorry, that was last year. He hit 21 in 385. In 425 plate appearances this year. So 107 games. If you get to a full season, he's probably hitting around 30. So, if you have a 30 homer second baseman, that's not very common. So he's a solid, not fantastic defender, but I think Lau is a solid number 5 here. He could go up a spot if he has a full season. I could also see a reason for keeping him off.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, Lau to me was a tough omission. He and Ozzy Albies to me, if you play 150 games, like if we set this as player X will play 150 games, rank there where we would think they would finish in WAR, for example. If that was the case, Lau and Ozzy Albies to me would be top 5, but I don't trust them to play 150 games. Lau has missed time. Ozzy has missed time. They would be in that like 6 to 10 range. That also has some of these rising guys. The Matt McClains of the world, he was great, and then he's hurt. And it's like, just if you're healthy, you play 150 games, you're going to be at the top of the list. And my number 5 is Nico Horner. I've really never been the biggest Nico Horner fan, but he can stick it with the glove, and he's good enough offensively that like it's fine, like good enough with the stick. And then you add the base running, right? He stole 30 bags again this year, 74 bags in the last 2 seasons. Doesn't have a ton of pop, but will give you, 30 doubles, 275, 280 batting average, walks enough. He's walked more in recent years. And I think if the Cubs are a little bit better, he'll be, instead of like a 708 OPS like he was this year, he'll be closer to that 730, 750 OPS in 2021. And he has the second base shortstop versatility. I know shortstop doesn't matter for them because they have Dansby, but he's going to be a 4-win player. I'll take that. A marginal plus batting, plus base runner, and a tremendous fielder.
Yeah. I think Nico Horner is a really good, just all-arounder. Like, is he going to be the power guy? No. Is he going to get on base, and is he going to just do the job he needs to do? Yeah. So for that reason, he's also my number 4. Like, he's my number 4 on my list on that same bit. Like, everything you just said makes sense here. I like the strides that he has made in recent years and the fact that he is not like this second baseman that is going to absolutely blow you away. But what he is going to do is he's going to come through when you need him to. He's going to help get people into scoring position. He's going to hit a couple doubles down the line here, and he's going to play solid defense while at it. Is it amazing defense? No. Is it good defense? Absolutely yes. So for that, I'm kind of piggybacking off of your bit. Don't want to keep overlapping on everything. So he's my number 4.
So Hoerner was a tough omission for me. Mm-hmm. He needs to hit a little more for me to put him on the list. He's an excellent defensive second baseman, though. One of the best in the league. But my number 4, I have Jazz Chisholm. This is the first time I've ranked him on one of these. We saw once he got traded to New York, just how great he can be if he's playing on a contending team. 730 OPS with 13 homers and 22 steals in 101 games in Miami. Gets traded to New York, 46 games, 825 OPS, 11 homers, 18 steals. He finally played 140 games in the season, 147 games, 24 homers, 40 steals, and 4 F-WAR. So, if the Yankees stick him at second base, like Fangraphs thinks they will, this is a guy I can see him being a 30-30 guy next year. Get him a full season in New York on a contending team. I just had a feeling if he got traded out of Miami, he was going to do great things. And I think he's going to have a great year for New York. And I expect him to be the everyday second baseman, which is going to help. I think that's his best position.
Yeah, and I'm going to follow you right there. And I have Jazz as my number 4. And the on-field production was great. But what jumped out to me was his ability to acclimate. And he went into the Bronx playing a brand new position at third base. And was like, all right, you are my city, New York. I will ball out for you. And that's exactly what he did. And that's a lot of respect for me that the last couple of years, Jazz has been dealt a pretty crappy hand with the Marlins. They're like, okay, you're just going to play center field. And it's like, okay, I'm going to be a Gold Glove center fielder. Now, he didn't actually play Gold Glove defense and center, but we can get past that. He said, I'm going to go play center field for you guys. I've never played it before in my life. And he went out and played center field. And then they trade him to the Yankees and like, okay, play third base. And he's like, absolutely. Gleyber Torres wasn't going to play third. I'm going to play third. So, Jazz gets tons of points there, and he hit really well for the Yankees, 825 OPS. Kind of cooled off in the playoffs. Did have a couple home runs. Stole 6 bags for the Yankees in the playoffs. But just the lightning rod of a player. I know the Yankees and personality, that's like an oxymoron. But it's great to have that personality in the Bronx, and I hope he has a great year at second base.
Yeah, I'll say Jazz Chisholm was a hard omission for me too. And honestly, he really could have been my number 5 or number 4. I think I just have a little bit more hope for Lau or Hoerner. I want to see what he could do in a full season with the Bronx overall.
That's fair.
So, yeah, on that note, how about Splash? How about you give us your number 3? Because now we're getting to the part where I think we all know who the top 3 are. It's just about what order.
Are you sure? Yeah, number 3 for me is Marcus Semien. Sort of the inverse of Jazz Chisholm. That Chisholm is this like electric player and electric personality, and has these wide ebbs and flows, right? And Marcus Semien is just like the same guy, 162 games a year, just rock solid. He ended up with an OPS below 700, but that was sort of an artifact to me of the Texas not being very good. But average OPS, plus fielder, plus base runner. I didn't steal quite as many bases this year. Played 159 games, 4 WAR. He's the same guy every year. There can be some ebbs and flows, and sometimes the counting stats are like off the chain good. Like he's a guy with a 45 homer season. But yeah, just the consummate professional. If Ozzie Albies and Marcus Semien got into a room and Ozzie figured out how to play 150 games a year, or Brendan Lau figured out how to play 150 games a year, or Byron Buxton, or pick your favorite player, they'd be better off for it. And Marcus Semien, to me, just rock solid. You're good second baseman that in a couple years, he's going to have a really strange Hall of Fame case with 3 third-place MVP finishes, a Gold Glove, a couple Silver Sluggers, a couple All-Star games. And you're going to look back and say, oh, he was a really good player. Is he Hall of Fame worthy? I don't know. Had an 8 WAR season with Oakland, a couple 7 WAR season with Toronto, 7 WAR season with Texas. Won a World Series that year, by the way. Set the all-time plate appearances record. I don't know, man. Marcus Semien in the Hall of Fame one day?
I'm not sure how much I think that he will. Like, I have a feeling
it's going to be an interesting conversation.
He's going to be, I think, overlooked because of the fact that he's playing in the same era as guys like Judge and Ohtani that are taking away the awards from him at that point. That because he has great candidacies for all these, he just keeps finishing third. So it's like a lot of people that say, "Oh, you never won an MVP, you don't deserve to be in the Hall." Well, he's had the numbers. It's just that other people have. He's more consistently had the numbers than some of these other players had. It's just that he never was the best. He was just really dang good for a long time.
Hey, so, he has that ring.
He does have a ring. You are right about that. Although, to be fair, go Diamondbacks. Anyway. Hey, look, I love that Diamondbacks team, man. I really do.
It is time for Paul Sewald to surrender the lead. New Guardian.
That was my favorite meme. Just that for that entire.
It's time for Paul Sewald to pitch.
It's time for Paul Sewald to pitch. Lol.
Well, now he's going to pitch with the Guardians.
Now he gets pitched for the Guardians. Yeah, 100%. All right, I'll go third. Piggybacking again because this feels weird here. Yeah, it's Semien for me at 3. Looking at the top 3, it's really just kind of like, again, pick your poison, right? Semien is, in my opinion, of like everything on here, he's the best all-arounder. He's the one that's going to be consistently pretty darn good. Is he going to be amazing? Maybe. Might be, but he's going to be, no matter what, pretty darn good. He's the guy that's going to lock down the second base position. He plays solid defense, good offense all the way around. It's really just a matter of, is he going to have the full season? Actually going to have a full season now with Corey Seager at short. We can only hope so and hope that he stays healthy. But I think that with a healthy Corey Seager, Semien gets better because Seager's a guy that can really lift people up, and it gives Semien more opportunities to knock in runs, batted in, and play with a really good shortstop. But with that being said, yeah, he's my number 3. So Matt, who do you got for 3?
So you know what? I'm gonna group my number 3 and number 2 together if you guys don't mind.
Sure.
I'm honestly shocked I'm the outlier here. I have Altuve at number 3. Jose Altuve. So I will say this, that Altuve's bat is still pretty good. All right. There's a reason he's another silver slugger. My concern with him is that his batted ball data is interesting. Let's just put it that way. His average exit velocity, which has never been super high, is kind of hovered like the 85, 86 range the last couple of years. And his defense has continually got worse. -8 outs above average this year, which last year, or in 2023, it was -1, but in a smaller sample size. His walk rate also decreased to 6.9%. So it's like a 4% decrease. Look, I think Altuve is still a very good player, but I look at more than just last year, and I put Semien at number 2 because I think over the last 3-4 years, Semien overall has been the better player. He was a 6 on Fangraphs. He was a 6 WAR guy in 21. Then in his quote unquote down year in 22, he was 4.4, and in 23 he was 6.3, only lower than his amazing 2019 season with Oakland. And then even this year, he only had a 99 WRC plus, still 4.2 F4. That's higher than Altuve's. 19 outs above average. Only second baseman better was Andres Jimenez. So, and I also think that some of his offense, yes, some of his, his batted ball numbers did come back to earth last year, but he only had a 250 BABIP, which is incredibly low. It's actually the lowest of his career. So I feel like there's no way that his bat, I don't think you'll see another sub 700 OPS season this coming season. So I think Semien, if his bat, if he had been even like a 120 WRC plus guy, there's a chance he's number 1. But I have him at number 2, and I feel comfortable putting him there.
That's fair, 100%. For me, number 2, I'm putting Altuve. And as much as it hurts me to say nice things about Jose Altuve, I'm going to. He's still an elite hitter. He is still one of the best in this game. Here, is he great defensively? No, does not need to be. He has been an excellent offensive bat no, I do not need to blink twice to say that I'm okay. But I will say it is a shocking start to 2025 when I have Jose Altuve higher on my rankings than Mac does. That is, I was not on my bingo card.
I was not expecting it either.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe I'm turning a new leaf. Probably not though. So foreshadowing. Anyway, on that point, no. Jose Altuve, is he number one? No, I'm not putting him at number one here because there's one that is definitely better than him this year.
Yeah, and I'll piggyback off you, Alex, here. And Jose Altuve is my number two. I agree with the points Mac made, that Altuve, the numbers did decline, right? He went from a 900 plus OPS in both 21 or 22 and 23, smaller sample size, but over 900 OPS both seasons, just a 790 last year, 126 OPS plus. The Astros have a little bit of Brave syndrome that I don't know what was going on, that they struggled so mightily early on in the season. The Braves struggled the whole season. The Astros picked it up by the second half, but they lost early in the playoffs. And I think having a better lineup can help. Having Christian Walker play first base for you, I think will help a lot. And I don't know if you guys saw the Vinny Pasquantino clip of him kind of downplaying WAR for first baseman. I think he had some valid points, and having Christian Walker, the definitive best defensive first baseman in baseball, is going to help Altuve, help Jeremy Pena, help Isaac Paredes at third base. And I think Altuve can have a bit of a bounce back season, be more average than bad defensively. And he still hits. He's probably going to have a 2020 season. Last year, 20 home runs, 22 steals, good for 25, 30 doubles. The walk rate, as you mentioned, Mac, a little concerning, but like Ozzie Albies, Altuve is a guy that wants to swing the bat and wants to, put the ball in play immediately. The career strikeout rate of 12.8%. Last year's getting a little high, 17.4%, but he's a guy that likes to swing a lot. 337 BABIP last year, right in line with where his career averages. The ISO was down a little bit, but it's Altuve. I think he's going to be fine. And I'll go with my number one. It's Ketel Marte. I've consistently been lower than the group, I think, on Ketel, but he had won Ketel of a season last year, finishing, third in MVP, and he would have been perhaps even higher had he not gotten injured. He only played 136 games, but had 6.8 baseball reference WAR. That is exactly the pace you need for an 8-win season. 155 OPS plus, even better than his 2021 season, and even better than his 2019 season with the juice ball. He didn't hit. He hit even more home runs. He had 36 home runs, drove in 95 runs. I know Arizona missed the playoffs. I get it. Not his fault. They missed it via tiebreaker because they blew a 5-0 Spencer Strider start. But regardless, darn near 7 WAR in 136 games. I'll take that. I'll take darn near 70 extra base hits out of my second baseman. Oh, yeah. And he can play defense now. It's a magnificent sight. Ketel Marte was awesome defensively. I don't remember if I voted for him. That's like 3 months ago now. But he was awesome defensively, consistently at the top of the DRS and OAA leaderboards among NL second basemen. But Ketel Marte, man, what a time.
Yeah, so, he's locked in at second base too for 100%. The foreseeable future. And I'll just go ahead right now. I had Marte number one. Don't think it's particularly close. So, yeah, I mean, how many second basemen can do what he did last year with the bat? I mean, 36 home runs, 151 WRC plus. That is an elite hitter, like Splash was saying. Third in MVP voting, but I mean, okay, obviously I'm biased because I think Lindor had a legitimate case to win overall MVP, but there would have been a conversation about those two. But yeah, Marte just, he's a 5-tool player really. And I wonder if he can replicate it. That's my biggest question, because he had that amazing 2019 season, took him a little while to get back to that level, and he actually exceeded it this year. And I like that he was, comfortable, sacrificing some strikeouts for some power this year. So Ketel Marte, hit him in wherever you want in the order, whether it's leadoff, whether it's batting him behind Corbin Carroll. He is an amazing, amazing player. And I don't think there's a doubt in anyone's mind he's the best second baseman in baseball.
Yeah, so I had Marte as well, number one. I really wanted to say for fun doing Ryan Bliss, but at the same time, you guys have said everything when it comes to it. Excellent offensively, can play great defense. Also, it's not just second baseman. You can put him at short, put him in center. You can put him legitimately anywhere you need him to play, and he will do it at a decently good level, except maybe pitcher or catcher. Which, again, if you ask him nicely, I'm pretty sure he'd still do that anyway. But I do want to bring up one thing, and this is the only negative I really want to bring up about Ketel Marte, because I think that if you have a full season of him at his best, he is an MVP level player. But I also want to bring up that he has been fairly streaky in his career. He has had a lot of seasons where he has done excellent, horrible, excellent, horrible. Looking at his career right now, right? With Arizona, his first year, he had a 1.4 WAR, then 3.9, then 6.9, and then, well, nice, but then in 2020, 1.5, which, again, this shortened season, less time to accumulate WAR. But then 2021, 1.8. 2022, 1.5. And it's like, wait, what happened? And now he's resurging again. 2023, 4.9 WAR, and 2024, 6.8. He's had a show right now multiple times of going 2 good years bad, 2 good years bad. This is after the second good year. Is that going to hurt him again? I hope not, because I like watching a good Ketel Marte. He is one of the most fun players to watch because of his versatility, because of his electric play. The baseball is better for Ketel Marte being good at baseball. So with that being said, let us know how you think about our list. Did any of us really miss out someone? Do you guys really think that Luis Garcia needs to be in our top 5s? I mean, hey, maybe
Whoa. Before you slander the good Lord.
I'm not slandering him.
Yes, you are. This is slander. Luis Garcia, last year, 282 batting average, 444 slug, 115 OPS plus, and made defensive improvements. And also stole 22 bags.
And you didn't put him in your top 5.
He was in my top 5 until I saw that Jazz was going to play second for the Yankees. He was
number 1. So what I'm saying here is that if any of us messed up by not putting him in, let us know. That's not me slandering him, Splash. Come on.
It's not slander if it's true either.
I'm not slandering. I'm not slandering.
I said it's not slander if it's true. Hey, man.
Just gonna... It's trivia time. All right, guys, here we go. It's time for everyone's favorite segment. Here, Splash. Trying to hand it off to you, which I'm not sure after that little interruption.
Hey, man. I just work you. All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, Ichiro Hall of Fame voters and non-Ichiro Hall of Fame voters.
Voter.
Yes, voter. We talked about second baseman today. Mm-hmm. Fellas, it's not quite Hall of Fame second baseman, but I want you to name the players who played second base in Major League Baseball who accumulated 70 or more Baseball Reference WAR. Now, I worded that. These are not strictly second basemen. There are a couple of these guys that played one time at second base, a couple that played more than once, a couple that are primary second basemen, like legitimately primary second basemen. I would like you to name as many as you can. You have 33, and it's a team effort. You have to name at least 17.
Oh, we're working together on
Yes, you are working together.
Okay, cool. That makes life a lot.
I will give you, what's a fair? 5 minutes? Is that fair?
5 minutes to name as many as we can.
Yes.
And no strikes, right? This is just...
Yeah, no strikes.
All right.
You have to name 17. There are 33 players who played second base at least one time, at least one inning, or at least played it. I don't even know if Baseball Reference counts it as an inning, but played at least one game at second base, 70 Baseball Reference. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
I think the first name that comes to my mind is Jorge Posada.
He didn't
Jorge Posada did not get 70
WAR.
He did not get 70 WAR.
Albert Pujols, I believe, played an inning at
Albert
second base.
Pujols is correct.
Okay, Pujols. Cool.
Let's go.
Let's see. Who else then? I'm trying to think of players that even second baseman.
Come on.
I mean, this is a team effort. We're not going like one at a time.
Oh.
30 seconds.
Can I keep
Yeah,
going?
just go.
Yeah, keep answering. Go.
Craig Biggio.
Is incorrect.
Yeah.
What? He didn't get 70?
Apparently
No.
not.
All right.
Frank Thomas. Did you play second base
No.
once?
No.
Oh.
Bobby Grich.
Bobby Grich, 71.1. Yes.
Yeah,
Jackie Robinson.
Jackie Robinson is
70.
incorrect.
Okay.
Didn't play enough.
Yeah.
Rogers Hornsby.
Rogers Hornsby, number 4, 127.
I just lost his Wagner, Hannes Wagner.
Hannes
played
Wagner, number
second?
3, 131.
Nice.
Oh, he did play some second.
You're over a minute.
Wow.
Pee Wee Reese.
Incorrect.
Dang.
Pete Rose.
Pete Rose is number 19, 79
Nice.
and a half.
Okay. I'm sure you've always started a timer, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to think of like obscure, like, he shouldn't have, like, he's honestly a Hall of Famer, but played maybe one game at second or something.
Minute
like
30.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now
Cooper
I'm
Jones. Did you play a game at second?
Incorrect.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Ryan Sandberg.
Rhino is incorrect.
Wow.
What? He didn't get to 70?
No.
My God.
Babe Ruth. Did you play a game at second base?
He did not. Sandberg was 67.9. Biggio was 65.5.
What?
Jeez. Okay.
2 minutes.
That's nonsense to me.
That's a lot of nonsense.
You got to start firing off names, boys.
We're trying to think of any names.
Did Johnny Bench play
Johnny
second?
Bench? Yeah.
No Johnny Bench.
No Johnny Bench.
Joe Morgan?
Joe Morgan is
He
correct.
had to.
Number 11,
Yes.
100.6.
100.6. Yeah.
Okay.
You're at 6.
We're at 6. We're 11 off.
We are struggling today.
We are very struggling right now. 17 was too high of a number.
I didn't realize how few second basemen had gotten there.
Miguel Cabrera?
No.
Definitely didn't play second. He also didn't get 70
Yeah, didn't
WAR.
get to 70 WAR.
Okay, well, again, shooting off names.
I don't think Robinson Cano got there, but I'm going to throw his name out there.
Nope, he was at 68.
Who's not Altuve. We already know that.
Altuve's not there yet.
Nope.
Yeah, obviously not. Let's see here. Other second basemen are just Derek Jeter.
3 minutes and no.
He only played short.
I didn't remember if he could play like one game a second. I don't know. 2
minutes left.
Okay.
Mike Schmidt.
Nope.
What?
Oh,
no,
yes.
Okay.
106.9. He's tied for 8.
Nice. Let's see here.
You are missing some second basemen, like actual second basemen.
Actual second baseman.
Yes.
Did Archie Vaughn play any second base?
He's number 21, 77.9.
Nice. Of course you won. We should have said that one first.
Yes. I appreciate Albert Pujols being your number 1 answer.
Well, yeah, I remembered that one.
Was it against the Mets?
No, I remember it coming up once.
Okay.
Pudge Rodriguez played second base. I know this.
Did not make the list.
Wow.
What? How?
He is 68.7.
Oh
that
my
is
gosh.
such garbage, dude.
That is some garbage.
You're at 9. You have a minute left.
George Brett?
George Brett is not on the list.
He only played third and first, I think.
Again, just taking ideas.
Oh my god! I can't believe I'm
Larry
I'm
Walker.
failing.
I don't know.
Larry Walker.
Yes.
What, you did?
72.7. Yes.
Let's
Go.
That was a shot in the dark. All right, cool. Keep it going. Oh shoot. Curtis Granderson.
No.
He also didn't get close to 70.
Not even
I'm
close.
shooting up names, not like you are.
Robin Yount.
No.
Al Kaline. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep naming
Jason
players.
Kendall.
No.
Jason Kendall, yes.
I'm just thinking of players that have had like LB the show, like the milestone cards. Here,
15 seconds.
Oh,
I cannot believe how poorly we've done.
We have done horribly wrong. Let's see here.
Al Rose.
Mickey Mantle.
No.
Yes, Mickey Mantle is correct.
Mickey Mantle did? What? No way.
Yes.
A buzzer beater. Let's go.
Okay. You both get one more guess. I'll give you. You're at 5 minutes. You get one more guess each.
Okay.
I'm legitimately stuck.
Yeah. Okay. I'll say my last one is just because well, you said that there are still some legitimate second basemen.
Yes.
On this list. I'm trying to think of any second baseman right now at this point. And Splash is just like mad at both of us at this point.
Yeah, because there's definitely like a name that we are
It's
completely
so obvious
whiffing.
that we do. Yeah.
Did Ernie Banks play any second base?
Ernie Banks is not correct. Alex, you were on your last guess.
Yeah, my last guess.
Ernie Banks played shortstop, I guess, and first base.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of. There's no way this is a correct guess, but Pedroia?
Dustin
Pedroia did
is
not
incorrect.
get close.
Okay.
All right. Just like Dustin Pedroia on the Hall of Fame ballot, you did not get particularly close. You got 10. You got
Honestly,
Wagner.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm okay.
Yeah,
with that.
it's
Okay.
The fact that we got so many that were like not like second baseman is probably what's funny, I think, about it.
Okay.
Honestly.
I will go from bottom to top here. Bobby Wallace, Hall of Famer. Barry Larkin, Hall of Famer.
Larkin.
Ron Santo, Hall of Famer. Alan Trammell, Hall of Famer.
Wait, no, I remember him saying Alan Trammell.
I never said Alan Trammell.
I thought I heard you say Alan Trammell.
I'm realizing we missed his. No, wait, no. Lou Whitaker did not.
Relax. Okay. Frankie Frisch, Hall of Famer, actually a second baseman.
Right.
Harry Heilman. Lou Whitaker, famously not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Bill
I
Dolan,
can't believe that.
Hall of Famer. Paul Molitor, Hall of Famer.
Oh, Molitor.
Luke Appling, Hall of Famer.
His name
Brooks
crossed my
Robinson,
mind.
Oh, Brooks
Hall of Famer.
Robinson, yeah.
Rod Carew, Hall of Famer.
Rod Carew. Oh my
Roger
God.
Connor, Hall of Famer. Charlie Gehringer, actually a second baseman. George Davis, Hall of Famer. Adrian Beltre, Hall of Famer. Cap Anson, bad guy,
Anson.
but Hall of Famer.
Oh, wait, who's the last one?
Cap Anson.
Yeah, Cap Anson.
Okay.
Roberto Clemente, Hall of Famer. Nap Lajway, actual second baseman.
Yeah, I should have gotten that.
Mel Ott, Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Eddie Collins, actual second baseman. What are we doing, folks?
I cannot
Henry
believe.
Aaron, Hall of Famer. And Tom
Oh,
Hanks,
yeah,
Hall of
Hank.
Famer.
I cannot believe this.
This is a travesty.
Yeah, I feel like I've failed. I
Oh,
don't know how I'll ever recover from this.
So I'm gonna 30 seconds. My dad is a big Tigers fan. He will watch or listen, and send this to me tomorrow and text me. He's gonna say, "Your co-hosts are idiots. How do they not get Lou Whitaker?"
Yeah, I honestly can't believe I didn't remember until after we finished that.
What I do want to do at the very least is go through like the recording of this and see how many each of us got though of the 10, because I thought I was going to be hard carried by Mac in this. And
I guess 70 is a much higher number than I thought.
Yeah,
so 70 is one higher than 69.
Yeah, so the
true.
60s group: Ed Delahanty, Mookie, Tim Raines, Pud Rodriguez,
yes.
Cano, Sandberg, Alomar, Buddy Bell, Willie Randolph, Biggio, Joe Cronin, Utley, Reggie Smith, Richie Ashburn. There's Jackie, Lou Boudreau, Jesse Perquette, Jack Glasscock, Sal Bando, Jake Beckley, Harmon Killebrew.
So I mean, God. Well, all right. Well, you live and you learn.
Hanging on the edge of tomorrow.
Yep.
Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Splash.
Splash.
That was a fun one. I would like to. I honestly like doing these team ones too.
Yeah, it's
like
challenging.
We can be doing that probably more in the near future.
Yeah, I like the time one too, because sometimes we like ramble and ramble and ramble.
Yeah, 100%. All right. But with that being said, it is now time to end the show with how we end every show, which is with the moment to ourselves where we take a minute to talk about anything that's on our mind. It does not have to be baseball related, but it absolutely can be. Gentlemen, would either of you like to go first? Or would you like me to go first? I'll take that as me going first. Okay. So, all right, can someone please count me down?
3, 2, 1.
All right. So I am the proud new owner of a cat. I am so excited. Her name is Gigi. I love her very much. She is scared all the time, though. And it sucks because she currently at this moment is hiding underneath my bed. But she hides for basically the entire day. And then from like 9:30 till the wee hours of the morning, she'll come out and be active, and it will be very active during that time here. But I do wish that she'd come out. We're trying to work with her, but I can understand why she's scared. She was part of the moving the animals because of the California wildfires here. So she has been in 4 different shelters, moved across the west coast at this point, and now is finally here. And it's gonna take some time, but I am so happy to finally have Gigi in my life. So there we are. That's my time.
I feel that though with the cats can get scared easily. I do have one cat where every time, she'll be like sitting near me, and then like I don't know, I'll like move for a second, be like, oh my god, like go.
If you ever want to just see exclusively cat videos, go to Mac's Snapchat. That's all you post.
Yeah.
No, I respect it though. Like honestly, it's funny because
Exactly.
I always just like I'll just see these little posts from Mac, and it's just like, what is bro doing? Hey bro, how you doing?
Yeah.
I respect
Normally it's because they're hungry. If for one of them it's they're hungry, for the other it's I'm bored and want attention. So yeah.
I want to get to that phase with Gigi.
Yeah, my cats are famously Mexican drug dealer cats.
What do you mean?
I'm serious. So, like Rescue Society, what have you? They were the previous owner were like Mexican cartel folks.
Oh God!
I'm like dead serious. So I joke that they're Mexican drug dealing cats, and they are like skittish on like a whole. You need to like define a new word for skittish. They like I know that makes some sense though. Like they're probably scarred from their previous experience. It is a wild time to be around them.
That's honestly insane.
And they also like dragging my dino plush. Not like a dino nugget plush.
Yeah, the dino nugget plush.
Yeah,
yes.
They like dragging it from my bed and dropping it in the hallway. Like 20 feet. It's not like off the bed. Like I understand like pushing it off the bed.
Yeah.
But, like, dragging it from the bed out of the room around the corner and just depositing it.
One of our old cats used to do that with the drain in our bathroom. But she was an outdoor cat, so we think it was like when she used to like bring dead animals to my brother's stoop in Indiana. Like it's just like I don't know.
That's a good one.
Fair enough at that point.
Yeah.
All right. Who would like to go next? I am saying Splash will go next.
Splash, you can go.
Okay. Yeah, count
All right.
down.
Your time begins in 3, 2, 1, begin.
Oh my gracious. So the Ravens lost on Sunday, and that one hurt. But I'm gonna look at some overarching stuff, I guess. It kind of sucks that like the best case scenario for Lamar Jackson, like his career, best case scenario, I get to watch him 340 times. So think 20 years, 17 games a year. That's the best case. The absolute best case, perfect health. He's always on the Ravens, no issues, right? And I thought about it, and I had to watch the goddamn 2024 Braves 164 times. So in 2 years, I watched this tomfoolery of a Braves team, and I'm going to watch them about 330 times. And best case scenario for my life, I get to watch 340 Lamar Jackson NFL starts, and that kind of made me sad. So, like, I know the playoff choker, I get it, but man, Lamar's just a special player, and I think eventually he'll win one. And part of that is me knowing as a Ravens fan, we won a Super Bowl with Joe Flacco and we won a Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer. So listen, if Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl and Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl, Lamar Jackson can win a Super Bowl. Peyton Manning won a Super Bowl in a year that he threw 7 interceptions and only had 3 touchdowns. He won a Super Bowl that he played objectively horrendously against Carolina. They won by 2 touchdowns. So I think eventually Lamar and the Ravens will get it done. It just wasn't this year. They put themselves in position to do it every year. And that's the tough thing about these sports teams. And my favorite players being, Michael Harris and Ronald Acuna and Lamar Jackson. And that I've seen both of my teams win championships, and I'm blessed to see that. But it sucks that it didn't come with my favorite players, right? It sucks that Andrew Jones didn't win a championship. I wasn't around for 95 anyways. So even if he had, but like Acuna was hurt in 21, Harris wasn't up yet, and Lamar obviously wasn't a Raven back in 2012. And it's like Joe Flacco wins a Super Bowl, wins Super Bowl MVP. He goes on the greatest Super Bowl run or playoff run arguably in the history of sports, and that's tied to Joe Flacco. And Joe Flacco is the Super Bowl champion, and Lamar is playoff choker. But Lamar has brought me so much joy watching the NFL Sunday after Sunday after Sunday after they had a bunch of Saturday games in a row. The Ravens ended the season with like 5 straight non-Sunday games. But take your joy in sports, and it's okay to find joy in players that don't win championships. People may tell you otherwise. People may say your favorite quarterback's a choker. They might be right, but that's fine. I've gotten to watch like 94 regular season starts for Lamar Jackson. He's been absolutely magnificent. He's about to win his 3rd MVP, and no Super Bowl, but that's okay.
Yeah, I get that. I will say, purely just for a little bit of a joke, you have a very interesting definition of the word need to watch, but at the same point, I'm just joking on that.
Yeah, you know what I mean. That it's like,
I know, as a sports fan, I get it.
Yeah, it's like I get the app, the notification, the MLB notifications, and even when I work overnights and I wake up on a Sunday game and I wake up and it's already the 8th inning, it's like I still got all the score notifications. I'm going to check them, right? And
I will say on the idea of you watch the Braves 164 times and you only get to watch Lamar 17, 18, 19 times a year. If it was inverse, Lamar would be very hurt.
That is a valid point.
That's the tough part. There's a reason why like NFL playoff game. That's what makes the NFL so hard to win is that it's only a one game. You get one shot.
One game, yeah.
But the other thing is that if you played more than one game, especially like back-to-back games, oh my god, that'd be so bad.
And like I
oh my gosh, have a best of 3 series.
Best
of 7 series in
best
football.
Of 7 in football. Yeah, great idea.
It would be the entire year.
Yeah, and it like stinks from my perspective because I think Baltimore's a better football team than Buffalo. I don't think that's a hot take. They were favored in Buffalo to begin with. And it's like one mistake in the first quarter and okay, that's your season. Because Buffalo just didn't make any mistakes. And it's like, okay, that's your season. And I know baseball and baseball, basketball, hockey, they can come down to that one game, right? There was a game 7 of the no recent World Series, 2016,
2019,
yeah. Okay.
2019 was.
So the Nationals, their season came down to the line. 2019, Game 7, do or die. They had a Game 5 against the Dodgers. They had a wild card game. The season came down to one game, but they at least had 4 other games against the Dodgers and 6 other games against the Astros. They did all win the winner take all games, but man, it's tough, and you get to stew on it for 8 months. But
true, yeah. Hey, as a Mariner fan, after 2022, with that season ended. Gosh, I was so disappointed because I'm like the first time I make it to the playoffs in 21 years, and you lost in the divisional round.
I mean, anyway, they won a series though.
They did at least win a series, and one of the greatest comebacks I have ever seen.
Yeah, like that. It was awesome seeing them win. That's like probably how the Tigers feel this year.
Oh my gosh, true. All right, Mike, it is your turn. You ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, your time begins in 3, 2, 1, go.
So yeah, this past weekend, I went to Jersey to watch my alma mater, and it was senior day. First of all, hats off to the seniors. Obviously, 4 years at the school, dominated for those 4 years. Probably our most dominant 4-year stretch since the early to mid 2010s. But also, we beat the daylights out of Rowan, which is our bitter rival. So it's really, really awesome. I kind of wish that we had done that while I was in school. We never beat them when I was there, but seeing the tide has turned on the rivalry, it almost feels like when the Red Sox finally started beating the Yankees in the 2000s. Rowan had our number. Now we have their number. This was a blowout. And it's just really exciting. Our program was top 25, around top 25 when I was in school freshman year. Then we became top 15. Now we're pushing top 10 again. It's just really, really cool. And it was awesome spending time with my old teammates. And I think we all feel the same way. That's really great to see the growth from this program from where it began our first year with a new head coach to now routinely we get the respect, we get the great recruits. So yeah, really, really awesome stuff. And conference championships are next month. It's going to be pretty sick. I wish I could go this year. They're down in Virginia, unfortunately. Don't think I'll make it. So yeah, it was a fun weekend, and I'm glad I get to spend time with my teammates still occasionally. You know, don't get to see them that often, but we make sure every time we meet, we make sure to make it count.
Man, I respect the heck out of that. Yeah, no, 100%. Here. All right. But with all that being said, now I think we've now exceeded our time by a little bit, but that's all right. We're talking good sports here. If you had a good time here, just like us here, hey, consider giving us a like on Spotify here or on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts from. Give us 5-star review. What's up?
Or YouTube.
Or you. I was getting to YouTube. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, make sure you rate us. Go ahead and give us a subscribe here on YouTube, LAR Baseball, Losses Above Replacement. Go to us on Twitter, the Bird app, X, whatever you want to call it, here at LAR_baseball. Here, you can go follow me on X at the Sports Guy 242. Go follow Splash on Twitter at Mr. Splashman19. And go follow Mac at Mathias_A_K. You can also see our Instagram at LAR_baseball. But from all of us here at Losses Above Replacement, thank you so much for tuning in today. Have a great rest of your night. Stay safe. And I hope to see you all real soon.